What do you think of my hat?
Man, that's of all the hats in the world, I think that's one of my favorite hats of all time. I think you look great on it. I think you should never take that hat off, ever.
As you can see, I'm clearly not really a hat guy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I think it looks great.
You got it on your shirt. Is that not a...
What, Jason back there, he looks...
Yeah, Jason, what do you think?
He's nodding. He says he thinks it looks great,
Yeah,
too.
okay. Well, I think...
Thumbs up. He just gave a thumbs up.
Okay, yeah, we can't see it, so I actually... Oh, he gave a thumbs down.
No,
you didn't...
No,
no, put that away. No.
You can't argue with that.
We got it on the shirt here. That's... Tell us all about Boone.
Okay, well, we got the shirt, we got the hat.
No,
you can lose the hat. All right. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. He
that
did
was
not
part
want
of the
to wear
deal.
the hat.
I like the hat. It's a good hat. It's a good hat.
It's in my rider, though. I don't do interviews unless someone's wearing a Boone hat.
It was a long rider, too.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, especially for interviews in your backyard.
That's where we are right now. You have a wrestling ring in your backyard.
Yeah, and okay, well, I'll talk about Boone quickly.
Okay. All right.
I've talked about Boone a lot. If anyone knows me, you definitely have heard of Boone. If you follow me on social, you've seen me post, tweet, gram, and Facebook about Boone. It is a movie about a reality show bounty hunter, Boone, who boons dudes like Kevin Sorbo for the delight of TV fans all over America. But when his show is going to be canceled because of poor ratings, he decides to go after a real criminal, a.k.a. Jonathan Lipnicki, who happens to be the son of drug lord Richard Tyson, the guy that played Crispin in Kindergarten Cop.
Wow.
And Boone and his crew, Spencer Grammer, Rampage Jackson, and Osric Chow, go down to Mexico to try to boon this D-Big trust fund kid and spike the ratings and save the show.
And Jonathan Lipnicki's like ripped these days, right?
Ripped his dicks.
Is that a phrase we use?
I'm kind of trying to start a thing. I mean, you could also say ripped AF. That's what the kids are saying.
Yeah. No,
ripped his dicks is cooler though.
That's a way cooler phrase. That's right? That's hashtag.
Like beanie.
Oh yeah.
No, but yeah, Lipnicki's great, man. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I don't know exactly what belt he is, but I know he trains not too far from here, just like 20 minutes away. And I know guys that go grapple with him, and sometimes they text me and they're like, "Man, it was kind of like a profound moment. I just got tapped out by the kid from Jerry Maguire." It's
Did you know the human head weighs 8 pounds?
He's well, thanks to him, I do.
Yeah, there you go.
We all do.
Why doesn't he train here? We are in your backyard. There's a wrestling ring in your backyard.
I don't want to get tapped out in my backyard by Jonathan Lipnicki. That'd be embarrassing.
Why is there a wrestling ring in your backyard?
I'm a professional wrestler. I mean, professional wrestlers, just like anybody else, you need to train. You need to continue to up your game, to up your level. I mean, rings are like in people's backyards all over Miami too, aren't they?
I don't know. I mean, I've interviewed a lot of professional wrestlers, and I've never done an interview in a wrestling ring in the backyard of a professional wrestler's house. So this is surreal for me.
It's kind of surreal for me too, because I feel like I kind of went backwards. Tough Enough went straight to WWE, had a really nice run up there. Yeah. Then since Lucha Underground and Impact, and now I've got a ring in the backyard.
Now you're a backyard wrestler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Full circle, reverse, like the Benjamin Buttons of wrestling.
The fact that you live in LA and Lucha tapes not far from here must be pretty nice for you.
That was one of the things that first attracted me to Lucha. I was living downtown when they started, and the warehouse in Boyle Heights was, man, like 5-10 minutes from where I was living.
Perfect.
Couldn't ask for a better setup.
How did that all come together for you? Were you one of the first names involved with Lucha Underground?
I was the second name attached to Lucha Underground.
Who was the first?
I was going to say, guess. Who do you think was first?
Vampiro?
Blue Demon.
I never would have guessed
that.
No,
why would I have guessed that one?
But
no. So number 2, Johnny Mundo. So Lucha Underground was something that I had heard about from Chris Joseph, a.k.a. Big Dick Johnson from the WWE, who I was bros with from back in the day. He called me and said he was starting a wrestling organization. This is like early 2014, 2013. Would I be interested? Whenever I get asked that question, my answer is always like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. Let me know when it happens. So
good luck with that.
He calls me again and says he's starting the promotion, and his partners are Mark Burnett and Robert Rodriguez. And again, I'm like, oh, good. Sure.
Yeah, right.
That sounds great. Yeah, love to. Sign me up.
Then, in LA, a lot of people have those stories.
Oh, everybody has got like some project with somebody attached because Brad Pitt's little brother cut their roommate's hair or something, and now Brad Pitt's kind of whatever. But when I was making Boone, for example, I found out the long, hard way that most people in this city are full of BS.
Sure.
But it turned out that Chris DeJoseph was not. So he called me up again and said, hey, come check out the temple. We've got the set designed. We've got a ring. It's being loaded in right now at this warehouse in Boyle Heights, where I'd actually filmed a couple of movies previously, and I was familiar with how it looked before Lucha Underground came in. Crappy, like a dirty like pile of garbage was there, and they moved the garbage and it stayed dirty, and they moved a wrestling ring in and art directed it to look awesome.
Yeah.
And when I saw the setup, I was like, oh, this is 100% legit.
Yeah, I've been to the temple. It's impressive once you're inside of there, and the fans are insane.
Seriously, some of the best fans that I've ever worked in front of.
Yeah.
So from that day, I saw it. Chris DeJoseph and Chris Roach both were writers with WWE that I'd met, that I respected. And Eric Van Wagenen and Tony Jensen were producers that I'd worked with on Tough Enough in 2010 that Stone Cold hosted, and I appeared as a guest star.
Yes. Matt Cross was telling us all about the connection there.
Oh, yeah, cool. Yeah. So you talked to Matt already.
Yeah.
It's a small world. Wrestling is a small world.
It is.
And I had met a lot of the guys, like Matt, for example, and Chavo, and too many to name. And it ended up becoming a really cool thing and working out, and I got to be in there from day one and see it grow from the ground up.
Who was the one who came up with the idea of working under the name Johnny Mundo?
Originally, it was DJ and Chris wanted me to go as Johnny World. Was the first idea for the name, and that was a nickname that Freddie Prinze Jr. used to call me when we were at WWE, and I think they just thought it was a cool name and it caught. And for some reason, going into Lucha, I thought Johnny World would be hard for fans to chant. Give it a try.
Johnny World. Johnny. It sounds like we're going to Disney World.
Yeah, it's tough, right?
Yeah.
So I went with Mundo, which
means world.
Which means world in Spanish.
Yeah.
But also
Spanish
is like Johnny Culo, Johnny Puto, Johnny Mundo. There's a lot of fun things.
And when you have a two-syllable first name, two-syllable last name, you can get the Johnny Mundo.
Oh yeah,
I see
exactly.
what you did there.
Johnny World. No,
doesn't really work.
Not as fun.
Do you not own the name John Morrison?
I don't know, man. I don't own any of these names. I don't own Johnny World, Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Blaze, or Johnny Impact. None of it.
Why not wrestle under John Hennigan?
It's a good question. And
Johnny Hennigan.
If I had my career to do over again, I think at this point I would. Because if there was like some sort of like brand test associated with pro wrestling, I would hardcore fail that test because I have so many names that it's confusing to me even. I don't even know how to introduce myself to people on the phone, depending on who I'm talking to.
But it doesn't matter. I mean, your look has not really changed, though, in the last 10, 12 years. So that has stayed the same.
Glasses half full. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, glasses half full. It looks the same. Hey.
Yeah.
So what if the name's confusing?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
It matters a little bit. It ultimately, though, in the world of pro wrestling, the thing that matters most is what happens in the ring and people enjoying coming to see you. So, despite a confusing name and me not owning any of these names, the look has remained the same, and I'm lucky to be able to still feel like I'm in my prime and doing what I'm doing in this thing we call the squared circle.
And you're working a ton. To kind of peel back the curtain here a little bit, where have you been working this week?
Thursday, I was in Newcastle, which is in the UK, and I flew in. I got in last night, and this coming weekend, we got 2 shots for Aero Lucha in Texas. The next weekend, Lucha Season 4.
Yeah.
We're back in the saddle, and I couldn't be more excited for that.
And you're going after your title.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going out for glory, going out for fame, but most of all, I want the title back.
How different will Season 4 be without one of your biggest names in there, Prince Puma, Ricochet, obviously signing with WWE?
Man, bittersweet to see him go. Wrestled Puma, Ricochet, Trevor, all over the world by all these different names. And he's one of the best in the business right now. And I'm really excited to see what happens for him at WWE, see him on NXT. And it's sad to see him go, but when he was a kid, he grew up watching WWF, and I think it's something that he had to do for himself. He had to get there and see what it was like for himself, and I think he's going to kick ass there. Meanwhile, in Lucha Underground, we have still, in my opinion, the most talented roster in the business. We got me. Need I say more? I'll just stop right there. Phoenix, Pentagon, Matt Cross, you mentioned, Taya, Shane Strickland, Willie Mack, Jeff Cobb, Brian Cage, and tons of people that I'm not going to name right now because it's hard to remember everybody. But it's a really badass roster, and I think it's not going to be that different. Everyone's going to miss Puma, man. I actually teared up on that last episode when he walked away.
Wow.
It was emotional, man. Wrestling's all about that. It's about making people feel something. And it was sad to see him go, but we'll carry on without him, and he'll kick ass in WWE.
Did he kind of take you aside and go, John, I'm going up to WWE. What do I need to know about going up there?
Oh, yeah, we talked about it. I gave him a bunch of advice, and, man, the best advice I can give to anybody in wrestling is there's a lot of stuff you can control, what you do in the ring, how you look, what kind of shape you're in, how you think about the business, and there's a ton of stuff that you cannot control. Who likes you, who doesn't, do you fit into someone's agenda? And when you try to micromanage those little details that are out of your control, you go nuts. So you just gotta do you, be the best version of yourself you can be, and focus on the things that you can control and forget about everything else.
That's just good life advice right there.
Yeah.
Life advice with Johnny Mundo Morrison, Blaze Nitro.
Yeah, man.
Did I get
Johnny
them all
Gimmick
there?
name. You missed a couple.
Going down the roster of Lucha, is Vampiro still a turd cutter?
He's always going to be a turd cutter. Are you kidding me? And as a matter of fact, we might have to get Prince Presley out here in a little bit to explain what a huge turd cutter Vampiro is. I believe he's going to be back for season 4. Him and I and Kevin Cross, Phantasma Tejano, Dr. Wagner have some unfinished shenanigans in AAA. And pretty much if you ask the entire wrestling world, they will agree with the turd cutter assessment as far as Vampiro goes.
But you're going to have to work with him in just a couple weeks here. Is everything going to be fine?
It's something that everybody's been talking about. It's going to be interesting.
All right. I guess we'll...
I mean, you live in Miami. You're surrounded by turd cutters, right?
I don't... You're going to have to define turd cutter here, I think.
Turd cutter, douchebag.
Okay. Oh, they're the same.
Stain.
Oh, all right.
They're kind of interchangeable. I mean, what do you call turd cutters in Miami?
Yeah, I guess douchebags. The guys with the expensive cars.
Yeah, douche rockets, douchebags, like...
The guy I never want to be. That's basically it. Yeah.
I mean, Vampiro's all that except for the expensive car.
Oh.
He's a pro wrestler, you know? That's it's not the business to get into to make money.
I guess so. So how many weeks of Lucha Underground, how many weeks of taping are you guys doing?
This is going to be an insane schedule. They're going to try to get season 4 done in 5 weeks. The entire season.
And you tape 2 a day on weekends. That's basically how it works,
We're
right?
expanding, and I'm not even sure how it's going to be scheduled. They have yet to be completely announced.
Okay.
But I think we're going to be taping 3 days a week, and so we're probably going to be knocking out 6 episodes a week.
Jeez.
It's going to be tough.
And you guys have expanded with your exposure now on Netflix and being shown pretty much all over the world. Have you seen a return on that for you personally?
Absolutely. So every time I've been to the UK, I go to the UK, Australia, South America a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And I've noticed for sure an increase in the amount of people that call me Johnny Mundo over in the UK. And I'm still primarily known everywhere I go as John Morrison because WWE's exposure is just millions of people globally. But I can feel the rise of Lucha Underground and the rise of Impact, too. I've been now on Impact for almost 6 months. I've been on Lucha Underground now for 3+ years. And the other bodies of work that I've been doing are getting out there more and more.
Yeah. Do you have a closet just full of the wardrobe that you wear to the ring, the awesome jackets and that type of stuff?
Oh, yeah. They're over there under the couch.
Under the couch.
I'm just kidding. No, they're hanging up in the closet in the back because those things are expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do you travel with those?
You have to pay that extra bag fee because there's a couple of coats that I have that are at least 40 pounds. You put the 40-pound coat into your bag, and if there's anything else in the bag, it's going to be heavier than 50.
Yeah.
Unless, this is my trick sometimes,
Okay.
and I hope that no one from the airlines is watching this because sometimes you can get away with this. You put your coat in the bag, you got your stuff. Say it's like 60, 65 pounds.
Yeah.
You load it onto the bag scale, and you kind of lean in close and maybe say something nice to the lady that's checking you in. Meanwhile, you hook the little loop on the back of your bag and kind of just lift it up. Lift up like 10, 15 pounds until it reads 50. And then, hey, look, your hair, do you do your hair every day? Or does it just look like that? I mean, it must take a lot of work. It looks great. As soon as she says you're okay, immediately move the bag.
It's a good trick.
Oh, yeah. And I'd say 2 out of 3 times that works.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've talked with The Miz many times about how he has to travel with his suit separately because The Miz is a very sharply dressed man.
Yeah.
So it's a similar type of scenario with, it's wardrobe in one bag and everything else in another.
Sometimes I'll just throw my coat in with the gym clothes and just fold it all together and put the bathroom stuff on top. But the coats are pretty clean because I keep them nice when they're here. But when you're on the road, sometimes you just fold it up, stuff it in the bag, get it to the show, get it out, and then when you take it back home, then you take care of it.
What do you think of what's happened with The Miz and his run since you guys parted ways, however many years ago?
I'm not surprised. I think The Miz is someone that usually people are like, I can't believe how well he's doing. I can't believe this. I can't believe that. But to me, he's someone that really always defined what it takes to become a successful public persona, in-ring entertainer. And to me, that's being authentic. And The Miz is always emphatically himself. He's always The Miz. You've talked to him.
Yeah.
You've met his dad. You know where he gets it.
George.
Yeah, George Mizanin. He almost got kicked out of the wedding party for jumping into the 4-foot pool at Atlantis naked.
Oh.
Or no, I take it back. He dove in with his shorts on, but they came off. And in the Cove at Atlantis, they're pretty strict about not making noise and not jumping in the kiddie pool naked.
Yeah,
Not
I
too
could
happy
see that
about
one.
naked
Yeah.
George in front of the kids with no trousers. But we digress.
Will Miz be in your wedding or at your wedding?
He's
In your wedding?
he's in the wedding party.
Oh, wow.
He's in the wedding party. Supposed to see him this Wednesday for a baby shower he's got coming up.
Wow.
He lives just right around the corner. He doesn't
I
live too
know.
far away from here.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a ring in his backyard.
This house isn't nearly as cool as this.
Be jealous.
Yeah.
Remember that? Man.
Was that a thing?
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
Oh, yeah.
We had the greatest tag team of the 21st century. That thing you talked to them is he.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a chick magnet. He
Just
was.
ask him. He'll tell you.
He was the chick magnet.
He was.
Will there be any sort of wrestling, since you and your wife met in the wrestling, or fiance met in the wrestling world, will there be any sort of wrestling theme at the wedding?
We're trying to keep it separate, although there's just going to be a ton of wrestlers at the wedding.
Okay.
Is that her? I feel like she's listening.
Oh, you
Okay.
got food delivery.
Oh, yeah, good.
Great.
Food's coming. See that? Uber Eats, guys. Fiance ordered something healthy, I hope, and delicious.
So there won't be like a best man on a pole match, or you won't be coming down the ring or the aisle to.
So I wanted there to be. All right. I pitched this whole skit where like we were gonna have Luchasaurus like kind of during the ceremony like invade, and he'd show up with some henchmen and like try to capture Kira and like run off with her, and then me and the groomsmen would chase him down and do like some quick high spots, maybe a DDT, boom, super kick,
Yeah.
and then get her back, and then we get the I do, and the kiss the bride, and everyone's
Perfect.
happy.
Yeah.
She's not super excited about having a little mini match during the ceremony part.
I wonder why. That's crazy.
She's classy. She's
Or not. I don't
more
know.
intelligent than I am. She's probably thought about how she wants her wedding far more than I thought about how I want my wedding. I'm just excited that I get to marry her. As far as what actually happens at the wedding, that's going to be completely up to her. We're going to have some wrestling thematic stuff sprinkled in,
All right.
but nothing over the top.
Looking at you standing here next to me, have you ever eaten a carb in your life?
I have. There's high days, there's low days. Have you heard of Halo Top?
The ice cream.
Oh, I'm big into
Yes.
Halo Top these days.
Doesn't taste that good though.
Yeah, but it kind of fools yourself, you know?
It fools you because it's
cold.
and it's in an ice cream container.
Yeah, and you
that's
eat
the
more of it.
That's kind of where the similarities between that and ice cream end, though.
Well, you can't eat regular ice cream and then you can't go back and forth because then it's clear.
Oh, God, no.
But yeah, I have a complex relationship with carbohydrates. You? I mean, you look like you hit the
Yeah.
gym.
No,
You train every day.
I'm no stranger to the
Look at
gym.
Veiny arms you got there.
Well, compared to yours, look at the
Veiny,
difference
look
in
at the things.
Yeah, I guess. But the
I
size
mean-
of this man.
This is just Tanner. It's all you need.
No, this is a professional wrestler's body, and this is a guy who holds a microphone for a living.
Hey,
Yeah.
who's the dumbass between the two of us?
Well, see you later. Maybe I should start holding the mic like this, though.
Oh yeah, getting some flex in there.
Yeah. So, what do you think about that?
Let me tell you something, brother. Oh, nice. Yeah. Ripped his dicks again.
Ripped his dicks, bringing it all the way around full circle. I've heard you say in other interviews that you still keep in touch with WWE and it just hasn't worked out. What would have to be the ideal situation for you to want to go back?
That's tough to say. You know, as far as what's going on in wrestling, the reason it hasn't worked out is because I feel like I'm really happy doing what I'm doing. I'm really excited for Lucha Underground Season 4. I've been blown away by how much fun I've had at Impact. And being able to do both of those things with the addition of that 5-star wrestling gig in the UK, AAA in Mexico, then now Aero Lucha, the potential to work for Crash or for New Japan. It feels like there's so much cool stuff going on that I can do now that I wouldn't be able to do with WWE.
Sure.
That I'm pretty happy. On the other hand, there's a lot of cool matchups that are waiting for me in the WWE. So, I mean, combination.
What are some of these cool matchups?
Man, I mean, I'd love to teach Roman Reigns how to work. Just kidding.
But not really.
Yeah. He said it this time, not me. Put the heat on him, Roman. Seth Rollins, unfinished business with The Miz. It'd be fun to get back in there and maybe even do some dirt sheet eps with him.
Yeah.
Me, Miz, Ziggler, and Zack Ryder would have a hell of a faction, I think.
Yeah.
I've never really had like a long program with Cena. That'd be a fun one. I got a feeling Daniel Bryan's gonna be back eventually when he gets cleared.
He was like one of the odds-on favorites to win the Royal Rumble, even though he hasn't wrestled in however many years.
Right, because his mind has probably never stopped thinking about wrestling this entire time he's been injured, and he keeps himself also in amazing condition.
Yeah.
So I mean, all those guys. Now we got EC3 and Ricochet on NXT.
Yep.
I love working Rey Mysterio. And
he's back.
He's dabbling.
Was back. Yeah.
He returned in the Rumble, and who knows if he's going to be back full time or not. But he's someone that I've looked up to my entire career, and love traveling with and working with. It's tough, man. It's a good problem to have though, because I feel like a lot of good stuff is happening there, and good stuff is happening for me out here too.
As we stand here in the middle of this very ring, in February, did you think there was a possibility you were going to get a call a couple weeks ago to be in the Rumble?
No. WWE is aware that I'm not I'm already signed to some other companies.
And this is the thing that's always strange from an outsider looking in, so you have to forgive me.
Right.
You know, you're working for Impact, you're working for Lucha, but you can still do indie taping, indie shows, which is always very confusing to me.
Correct.
So you can.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
That's
Some people can't.
That's the difference in the freedom between Impact, Lucha, some other indie companies, and WWE. And I think what Impact has done, and Lucha now too, is they've realized that by giving their employees a little bit more freedom to do what they want, they're going to have happier wrestlers working for them. Working independent shows, in my opinion, exposes you to new styles and new crowds, and it makes everybody better. So happier employees who are working harder and learning more stuff versus locking someone down, to me, feels like that's why you're seeing what you're seeing now, is all this crossover and people working for different companies.
Yeah. I know that you left wrestling for a little while to work on acting, and you said it was going to help with your promo work. In what ways do you think that acting helped out your wrestling?
I mean, at the bottom line, the base of everything. I mean, even this interview, hosting, acting, wrestling, music, stuff you see on Broadway, really all entertainment is all about one thing, and that's emotion. I learned that from Vince McMahon during his promo class. But it's true, and I've thought about that a lot. Ultimately, what you do in the ring is designed to make somebody feel something. Same with acting. And the tools are different, but there's a lot of crossover between what you're doing in front of a camera for a TV show or a movie versus what you're doing in the ring for sometimes for a TV camera, but sometimes for a live audience. And really, it's being completely vested in your character, kind of like what I was mentioning about The Miz. He's always emphatically himself. He's never out of character because he's not acting. But staying completely in that, so people see whatever they're seeing, you in the ring or you on a TV screen or a movie screen, and they're not seeing John Hennigan. They're seeing whatever role I'm portraying, and they're feeling the way that I want them to feel by my performance. And there's a lot more that goes into it than that. It's a complicated thing. But the more you venture out sometimes from professional wrestling into these other areas, the more you get the benefit of these different perspectives and different ideas to add into who you are in the ring, who you are backstage.
By the way, does Vince McMahon teach these promo classes himself?
There was a crazy time.
We'll both cough. Cough. There.
Stigmata coughs. Coughmata? I don't know. We'll think about it later. So there was a crazy time where I feel like Vince wanted to give back, and he started this thing called promo class. And originally it was just 4 or 5 people on Raw, 4 or 5 people on SmackDown, and you'd meet Vince maybe an hour before TV, and he'd sit in a room, and he would talk about what he thought made a good promo, what he thought made a good match. And it went for about 6 months, and by the end of it, there was 50, 60 people in the room. Everyone wanted to get into these things. And then I don't know, I think maybe he just he felt like he had passed on the knowledge that he wanted to pass on, or he got busy doing other stuff, and Vince has always got a million things going on, and he just kind of stopped. But it was a pretty crazy 6-month period. I took some pretty detailed notes. At some point, I think I'm gonna, I don't know. At some point, I'm gonna compile that stuff eventually to pass it down, because he dropped tons of knowledge during that time that I've never been able to get from anyone else in this business.
That could be a good book right there.
Oh yeah.